Welcome to the Safalta Talk. Today we have Ayush Saxena with us, who has scored 72 rank in the CLAT. So Ayush, thank you so much for being here.
Hello, Amit sir. Thank you for inviting me here for this, and I would be really obliged if I could share some of the insights about CLAT and other law entrance examinations with the aspirants of the CLAT examination. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So Ayush, let's start by talking about your family background and schooling. Tell me more about your family background and the schooling that you had.
Okay. So Amit sir, basically I belong to Jaipur, and I have spent all of my 12 years of schooling in Jaipur only. And I have done my schooling in one of the most famous convent schools of Jaipur, St. Xavier Senior Secondary School, 10th grade. And then I moved to one of the other good school of Jaipur, that is Jeshi Periwal High School, and I did my grade 12 from there. My family background, I come from a very humble background. My father is a government officer and in customs and central excise, and my mother is a homemaker, and my sister has also pursued law, and she is currently an assistant professor working with one of the colleges in Jaipur.
Okay, so what was the inspiration to get into the law? Is it your sister that you talked about?
Yeah, so basically, I'm a me and my sister both are first generation lawyers from our family.
Okay,
So we never had any inspiration from the upper generations, but we both had a habit of reading a lot. And while reading about the
okay,
Indian freedom struggle and different resistance movements around the world, I got to know about the important and seminal contribution that all the lawyers made to those movements, all the lawyers made to those struggles. Even the drafting of Indian constitution had a lot of effort and contribution from the great lawyers of that time, and reading about all that inspired me a lot in pursuing law. And even in today's politics also, if you see the contemporary politics, we have around one third of the members in the parliament are law graduates, and even
yeah.
more in state assemblies. So all that inspired me a lot to take up this opportunity of studying law. Yeah.
So Ayush, just wanted to know about the nature of the CLAT examination. Like, what is the nature, what is the competitiveness, and the composition of the whole exam?
Okay. So earlier, all these national law universities, so CLAT is the full form of CLAT is Common Law Admission Test, and
Okay,
CLAT caters to admitting students to the national law universities. So all these national law universities used to conduct their own individual entrance test till 2008, and it was in 2008 that this CLAT consortium was started, and all these NLUs were clubbed together for admitting students. And the examination CLAT kicked off in 2008 only. So basically, CLAT is considered to be a very competitive exam. A lot of people appear for CLAT like in JEE or NEET, but therefore CLAT is not as competitive as JEE or NEET. But I differ from that. I humbly differ from that view, because the thing is that NEET and examinations like JEE are conducted in different scheduled languages of the country. But considering the composition and the syllabus of law school, CLAT is conducted only in English. So in a diverse country like India, if an examination, if a national level examination is conducted just in a single language called English, then obviously the number of aspirants applying for the examination will be low. But mind me, the examination gets really competitive because the seats are really less in the top law schools of the country. So if I compared it with JEE, around 25,000 seats are there in JEE, and in order to get into IITs. But for NLUs, only 2,000 seats are there till the last NLU to get into the top law school of the country. So if you
so you're
compare
saying
it by
that.
the aspirant selection ratio, yeah, yeah. So if
So
you
you are saying
use
that
the
there are only
aspirant
2,000
selection
seats for
ratio,
the. Yeah,
yeah,
and how many students
more or
appear
less
for that?
2,000, 2,500, around 80,000.
Oh, this is competitive. This is bit competitive, right?
Yeah. So if you go by the student selection ratio, the CLAT examination appears to be really competitive, and it is really competitive. This is what I know from my personal experience.
Okay. So are you as you mentioned to me, like that you appeared for the CLAT in 2018, right?
Right.
So when did you start preparing for that particular exam? Like, did you start in the early 2018 or somewhere in the 2017? When did you start it?
Right. So when I was in my 10th grade, I was certain that I will be pursuing law after my grade 12.
Okay.
So in 11th grade, I took up humanities because the syllabus of humanities of CBSE boards really helps in preparing some portions of all the CLAT. So basically, I started my preparation in right in my 11th grade, that is 2017, and then I prepared all through my 12th grade also along with my boards. And then after my 12th grade, I appeared for CLAT 2018, and then I got selected for CLAT and for ALET also, which is also one of the great competitive law entrance exams in the country. So
Okay. Okay.
basically, I
We'll
started
talk
my
about.
preparation in 2017 only in my grade 11.
Uh, okay. Okay. So are you, as you mentioned, like that you appeared for the CLAT exam along with your board, right?
Right.
So that must have been hard, right? So how did you prepare for it? Like, what was your schedule look like at that time?
Right. So generally, it is considered that clearing a competitive exam along with your boards is really difficult, because all these competitive
Mm-hmm.
exams are timelined in such a schedule that you first go for your boards, and you just get 1 month gap, and then you prepare for then you have to give your competitive
Obviously.
exams. So yeah, that is a big problem. So I used to make most of the time that I spent at school. So whenever I used to get a free hour at school, I used to revise current GK, and I used to work on my math skills. That used to be my schedule that I used most of the time that I got during my school time. And after school, I used to spend 5-6 hours every day preparing for CLAT, and 1-2 hours I used to give for boards. So basically, if somebody takes up humanities in their boards, so the preparation for your boards exam complement your CLAT preparation also. But additionally, you have
Okay.
to do subjects like maths or logical reasoning. And if you have taken PCM or PCB in your 12th grade, your preparation for subjects like maths will also complement for CLAT preparation, because you will be done with maths, so it will help you in maths. But you will be left out for subjects like general knowledge. You will have to prepare. So more or less, everybody who is giving CLAT with their boards examination is on the same plane only. So they have to manage their time accordingly, and they have to put in a lot of effort as compared to those who are giving CLAT along with their drop year, because you have to manage
So
your school also, 8 hours of school daily, and then you have to go back home and study for CLAT. Yeah.
So I there is something interesting that I wanted to talk to you about. Like
Yeah.
as you said, like that you've been putting 5 hours for the
Yes.
CLAD along with
Yes.
your 8 hour school, right?
Right.
So
Right.
that must have been hard, right? How did
Right.
you manage this whole thing?
So obviously, but the fact is, we have to put in a lot in order to clear all these competitive exams. So
Mm-hmm.
right after my school used to end, I came back home. I generally used to come back home and have a nap of around 1 hour, and then and then I had to study straight away for 4-5 hours. I used to miss the
Mm-hmm.
evening games also that I used to pursue till
Okay.
my grade 10. But all these sacrifices are necessary if you want to do good in all these competitive exams. And when you look back, when I cleared CLAT examination and ALET examination, and then if I look back now, whether that sacrifice was worth it or not,
It worth
I
it.
yeah, it was obviously worth it. And giving 2 years of your life or 1 year of your drop year to any national level competitive exam is indispensable, and you have to do that. And in order to get a good career ahead, it's very natural that you do that thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about the second part of this whole discussion.
Right.
I wanted to talk to you about the CLAT exam in detail, particularly the whole syllabus thing that we will be talking about now.
Okay.
So I want you to tell about the whole the syllabus thing of CLAT. Like what are the subjects that we have to go through
Okay.
if you are going to appear for the CLAT exam.
Okay. So, common law admission test, also CLAT, is generally considered to be an aptitude exam. So, there is no
Okay.
particular subject like in JEE you are tested on physics, maths, chemistry. It is
Mm-hmm.
not like that in CLAT. It is basically like a postgraduate exam like CAT only, wherein you are tested upon quantitative aptitude, or we can say that maths
Mm-hmm.
also, logical reasoning,
Mm-hmm.
GK, general knowledge, and maths. And the most new thing about CLAT is that they test you on your legal aptitude section also. So you are
Okay.
giving this examination for studying law, but at the point you are giving this examination, you are tested on your legal aptitude, even if you don't have any knowledge about prior knowledge about it, because we don't study the subject at all during our school. All other four subjects other than legal reasoning, you must have studied in school. English you have studied, maths you have studied, maths you have studied, and general knowledge also, daily newspaper affairs you know about that. So legal affairs, legal aptitude is the most tricky section that appears to be in the CLAT for all the students that I feel. So these are
So
the five
I
subjects.
like get it. So I like get into the detail in
Yeah,
each of the subject that you talked about. Right, starting from the maths, right?
right,
What I feel like the maths is something which is which is not as simple as it seems to be. Now most of the
right,
students struggle with it. So
right.
how did you cope up with the maths?
So maths appears to be a very Herculean task for every student, and every
Mm-hmm.
student frets over preparation for maths in CLAT, and every student also consider maths to be obsolete in CLAT. They generally ask, "I ही क्यों रहा है यार, maths क्या जरूरत है? If I want to study law, why do I need to give examination
Mm-hmm.
for maths?" So generally it is considered like that. But what I also humbly differ from this general view also, because maths tests your aptitude, and the authorities in CLAT don't ask maths in detail. They ask basic maths that you studied till 10th. So you have to get conceptual clarity about some of the most essential topics that you have studied till your 10th grade. And I don't think that they are expecting much. If they expect you to know good amount of percentage, ratio, proportion, and all these topics are fairly easy to understand. Just this myth needs to be busted, that maths is something that is insurmountable in CLAT. Maths is easy, and you have to prepare, and you have to practice consistently. Consistency is the only key that I feel will help you with maths. And the idea of testing maths in CLAT is also justified according to me, because later on in your career, if you get into domain of law like taxation law, competition law, then obviously you need to be good with numbers, because taxation law you will have to interpret, and you will have to use your numerical knowledge
Mm-hmm.
while defending your clients. So this test of maths during CLAT is quite justified according to me. Yeah.
So
Uh,
you are very much true. Like maths not as typical as we look
right,
at
right,
this way. It's all about the change in perception that we need to have.
right,
It's
right,
all about keep on practicing about it. It's all about the
right, right,
persistence that you talked about, right?
right,
I'm
right,
very much aligned with this thing.
right,
So
right,
coming back to this second part of this collab that you talked about, like legal aptitude, right? How is
right,
that relate with that, and what is the difference with the normal logical reasoning that we go through?
right.
Tell me more about it.
Right. So legal reasoning is considered to be the most different and difficult subjects by some of the students.
Okay.
So, but
Mm-hmm.
I want to make it clear, and I want to change this perception completely, that legal reasoning is just another form of logical reasoning. You will be given a principle, you will be given some facts. So
Mm-hmm.
some of the CLAT gurus, some of the coachings teach legal reasoning as if they are teaching legal knowledge. They give knowledge of subjects like contracts, they give knowledge of subjects like torts, they give knowledge of subjects like criminal law. These are the subjects that these law schools will teach you later on in your life. So all these things are not needed at the time when you are appearing for CLAT. You just need to
Mm-hmm.
apply a prudent mind on that given fact and principle. You apply that legal principle on the given facts, and you cull out an answer out of the all four options. So according to me,
Mm-hmm.
legal reasoning is just practice, practice, and practice. You have to practice those propositions, legal principles on those facts again and again. And if you practice questions again and again, you will be able to fairly do well in this section. And past year question papers also help a lot while you prepare for legal reasoning section in the CLAT
So
examination.
could you help us with giving an example of legal aptitude that will help our student to have a better understanding about it? Is there any
Yeah,
example that you can come up with
yeah,
right away?
yeah. Yeah, so there is this offense of theft in the criminal law. So
Okay.
offense of theft is according to the Indian penal without the knowledge of other person, without the knowledge of other person, and without the consent of other person, and the property should be movable, and that
Okay.
amounts to theft according to the IPC. So this is the principle that is generally given in the question. And then there is this fact given in this question that there is a ring lying in your friend's house behind a sofa, and the your friend is not aware about that ring lying there, and you take up that ring without telling that particular friend, even if that
Mm-hmm.
friend is not aware about that ring lying there. But if you apply the fact to the principle given, that if you take up any movable property without the consent, without the knowledge of that person, if you move that amounts to theft. So taking up this action of taking up this ring without the knowledge of your friend from his home amounts to theft. So this is a fact, and the principle I talked about earlier will apply to this fact, and you will have to call out the answer. So options will be like whether that person has committed theft or not, and whether if he
Mm-hmm.
has committed a theft, what is the particular reason, why do you think, what portion of the principle applies on the facts. So this is like basic reasoning that you will apply, you will have to apply on the principles on the facts.
So this seems very interesting to me as far as the way you have mentioned it. Na, it is very interesting to solve this
Yes,
kind of question. It will keep you engaged about it, and you will be
right,
having this
actually.
curiosity. I need to figure out the right thing.
Right. Actually,
Yeah.
legal reasoning section is one of the most interesting part of the CLAT syllabus that I have experienced in my during my
Mm-hmm.
preparation period. And this just needs you to apply your judicial mind, and you really get
Mm-hmm.
fascinated by the future career you will be pursuing ahead, because you have to apply your
I can
judicial
feel
mind
it.
again and again to those questions. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. So there's thing there's a subject called GK, right, that you talked about, right? So as we all know that GK is a vast subject, right? So it's got current affairs, it's got the
Right, right.
static knowledge about it. So how did you prepare for it? What is there any something that particular that you were doing at the time for the current affair? Is there any
So
particular
general
newspaper that you were going through?
Okay. So general knowledge in CLAT is considered to be divided into two portions. One is the static portion, one is the current portion. And
Mm-hmm.
from the past year pattern, what I have seen is that current GK is generally asked more as compared to the static GK portion, because
Mm-hmm.
CLAT authorities feel that we need to test students on their current knowledge about the affairs around, and these current knowledge also helps in studying and complementing their preparation for law school syllabus ahead in their career.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, current GK is preferred more by the CLAT authorities while choosing students
Mm-hmm.
during the CLAT examination. And for current GK, I followed a regular regime. And what I feel is that there is so much happening around us that if you are not consistent with your current GK preparation, then you will have to fret over it a lot at the end of your preparation when you are near your examination. So I used to follow a regular regime. I used to read the Hindu newspaper regularly on a daily basis. I used to spend 40-45 minutes every day on that newspaper particularly. And there are some very good websites. There are websites like gktoday.com and all. You can go on to those websites. Jagran Josh is also a good website. Newspapers
Mm-hmm.
like if you are into Hindi newspapers, you can read newspapers like Amar Ujala and all. So these
Mm-hmm.
newspapers help a lot while you prepare for current GK. And newspaper is
Mm-hmm.
the key for preparing for current GK. And you can complement your current GK preparation with using these free websites on GK. And there are also good magazines, English and Hindi magazines, both for preparing current GK.
Mm-hmm.
And for static portion, there are some basic cardinal books that everybody suggests. So you can use those particular books by publishers like Lucent, or
Mm-hmm.
Lucent's publication, or TMH publications. These books can be used by all the students to prepare and hone up their static GK skills. And current GK is something that you need to be on your toes about for the entire duration of your preparation, by reading
So
newspapers
so
and following these
so
websites and magazines on a monthly and a daily basis. Yeah.
yeah. So Ayush, as you mentioned that you were reading the newspaper on daily basis for an hour at least.
Yeah, for an
And
hour
how
at
long
least.
did you do this for? For 2 year or 1 year?
For 1.5 years, around 1.5,
For
because
some,
for the
this
initial
is a
three
long
four months,
time. It shows the
yeah,
consistency, right?
this is the consistency you need. And for the initial 3-4 months, it will be very difficult for yourself to put into that habit, because generally what I've seen is we are not students are not in a habit of reading newspapers till their grade 10. And generally in
Mm-hmm.
India, people don't study newspaper till even till their graduation also, because all these aptitude based examinations happen in the post graduation time only. But CLAT is an
Mm-hmm.
exception examination wherein you are tested on your GK skills right after your 12th only. So I know it's a bit weird for me to ask students from grade 11 and 12, and even students who have just graduated out of school, to read newspapers regularly for 1 hour. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel this regime helped me a lot in honing up my current GK skills.
No, 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 Ayush, you are absolutely right. I read, newspaper on daily basis. This is the habit that I have cultivated long back. So Ayush, there's this
Right,
thing that you talked about, right? Statistics, static knowledge, right?
right,
That you
right,
talked about the Lucent. I have
right,
gone through
right,
this book called Lucent,
right,
but it
right,
was hard. Don't you feel like it was hard to, just memorize the whole book and memorize the whole content in it?
right.
How did you prepare for it?
So I guess strategy is the key while that you have to apply while preparing for
Mm-hmm.
static GK, because static GK is a portion that you cannot prepare in a period of 1 week, 2 weeks. People do that generally, but they fail at it.
Mm-hmm.
They badly
Mm-hmm.
fail at it. So generally, you have to
I've seen it.
yeah, you have to apply strategy over it. You have to divide the amount of time you have and the number of pages that are there in the particular book. So if Lucent has 350 pages, you have to divide it by the amount of time you have, and revision is the key. So if you do the Lucent's book cover to cover cover to cover again and again, you will be able to hone up your current static GK skills, and you will be able to fairly do well in the exam. So I guess 5 to 6 times of revision of that particular book cover to cover will help a lot, because people
Okay.
study that book for a single time and then they leave it and think that they are done with the static GK portion. But that is not the way that we need to prepare for an exam, a competitive exam like CLAT, because you will have to read again and again that particular book from cover to cover. And I don't suggest Lucent particularly. You can take up any static GK material,
Mm-hmm.
but the answer is that you have to do that. You have to revise that particular book for 5 to 6 times at least before you
Okay,
give
so
it your second
you
time.
have to keep on going through the same content again and again in order
Right,
to be,
right,
good at this thing.
right. Because applying the principle of less is more is very important. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
don't have to take up 10 books and read those 10 books
I can understand it.
vaguely.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take up one book and you have to concretize your preparation of that one book only. So apply the principle of less is more. That is my advice to students while preparing for static GK.
सो आयुष, जैसे जैसे आपने बताया कि लेट का एग्जाम जो है ना वो इंग्लिश ओरिएंटेड है, राइट? सो वी इन
Right.
इंडिया इंग्लिश इज नॉट अ नेटिव लैंग्वेज, राइट? So what about those students who are not, good at this English thing, whether it's about writing, whether it's about speaking? So is there anything that you would like to suggest them? As you mentioned in your in to me before the interview, कि initially आपका भी English इतना अच्छा नहीं था. There was something that you did right that
Right.
helped you to, be good at English. So what was that thing?
तो मैं सभी स्टूडेंट्स को बताना चाहूंगा कि बेसिकली मेरा प्रिपरेशन 10th क्लास तक, मतलब मैं मतलब एक नॉर्मल जयपुर के स्कूल में पढ़ा हूँ, और मतलब ऐसा नहीं
Mm-hmm.
है कि मेरा स्किल इंग्लिश का कुछ बहुत ही अच्छा था. तो
Mm-hmm.
बेसिकली व्हाट आई वांट टू टेल ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स इज CLAT authorities test your English knowledge on 3 verticals. One is
Okay.
reading comprehension, second is
Mm-hmm.
grammar, third is vocabulary. तो अब
Mm-hmm.
वोकैबलरी में आपका आज तक का स्किल कैसा था उससे फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है मेरे अनुसार. और आपको
Mm-hmm.
अगर अपना वोकैब का स्किल सुधारना है तो आप कोई डिक्शनरी उठाएं, या फिर कोई थेसाउरस इंग्लिश की उठाएं, या कोई भी
Mm-hmm.
नॉर्मल वेबसाइट, जैसे एक vocabulary.com नाम की बहुत अच्छी वेबसाइट है जिसको आप यूज कर सकते हैं, जिसमें आप अपनी एक कस्टमाइज लिस्ट क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. जैसे आज मैंने अखबार
Okay.
पढ़ा, और जैसे मैंने जो पहले एडवाइस किया था जीके के लिए कि इंग्लिश न्यूज़पेपर पढ़े, वही मैं सेम एडवाइस करूंगा इंग्लिश की स्किल्स इंप्रूव करने के लिए. जैसे मैंने बताया कि
Mm-hmm.
मैंने 1 1.5 साल तक के पीरियड में इंग्लिश न्यूज़पेपर जैसे हिंदू जैसा एक क्लासिक न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ा है, जिसमें इंग्लिश वोकैबुलरी काफी अच्छी होती है, ग्रामर की कोई इस तरीके के
Mm-hmm.
एरर्स नहीं होते. तो ये सब चीजों को फॉलो करने से आपका इंग्लिश अच्छे से सुधरेगा. और वोकैब के लिए जैसे ही आपको द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर में, या आप कोई और न्यूज़पेपर भी यूज कर सकते हैं, इंडियन एक्सप्रेस या कोई भी इंग्लिश न्यूज़पेपर, जिसमें से आपको कोई भी वर्ड मुश्किल लगे तो आप उसको मार्क कर लीजिए और vocabulary.com की अपनी लिस्ट में ऐड कर लीजिए। तो ऐसे ही
And
आपकी एक लिस्ट बनती जाएगी और बाद में उसे रिवाइज कर
mhm.
लीजिए। तो vocab
And
के
so
लिए
I use so
यस।
I what about this reading comprehension that you talked about, right? How did you go about it?
सो रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन का भी मैं वही एडवाइस देना चाहूंगा सभी स्टूडेंट्स को कि न्यूज़पेपर जितना हो सके पढ़े। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है
Mm-hmm.
कि जैसे द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर में मैं उसके हिसाब से एडवाइस देना चाहूंगा कि उसमें एक एडिटोरियल पोर्शन में एक सेंट्रल आर्टिकल आता है। तो वो अगर
Mm-hmm.
सेंट्रल आर्टिकल जनरली, जब मैंने पहली बार, जब ये पहले दिन मैंने हिंदू अखबार उठाया था अपनी
Mm-hmm.
11वीं कक्षा में, तो वो आर्टिकल पढ़ने में मुझे 16-17 मिनट लग गए थे। ठीक है।
I can understand.
और वो 16-17 मिनट के बाद भी मुझे कुछ समझ नहीं आया था। सो
Mm-hmm.
रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन, इफ यू break up that word, you are tested on your reading and your comprehension skills. So you have to read something
To
and
understand.
then you have to comprehend that thing, and then you have to
Mm-hmm.
apply that understanding on the
Knowledge.
question. Yeah, on the
Mm-hmm.
question given. So पहली बार आप वो आर्टिकल पढ़ोगे तो आपको 16-17 मिनट लग जाएंगे, समझ भी नहीं आएगा। धीरे धीरे जब आप रोज पढ़ोगे, अब आपको समझ क्यों नहीं आया उसका कारण ये हो सकता है आपको वोकैबुलरी समझ नहीं हो,
Mm-hmm.
आपको स्टाइल ऑफ राइटिंग समझ नहीं हो। तो धीरे धीरे जब आप हैबिट डेवलप कर लोगे, उस हैबिट को कल्टीवेट कर लोगे रोज तैयारी करने की, आर्टिकल पढ़ने की, तो आपको आर्टिकल धीरे धीरे टाइम भी कम होता जाएगा और आपकी कॉम्प्रिहेंशन स्किल्स भी बढ़ती जाएगी। तो उस आर्टिकल का अप्रोप्रिएट टाइम में, जैसे मैंने सुना है कि अगर आपकी रीडिंग स्पीड अच्छी है तो आप उसको 8 मिनट में पढ़ लोगे और 8 मिनट में
Mm-hmm.
समझ भी जाओगे पूरा। तो दिस इज अ
Okay.
टेस्ट दैट ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स कैन अप्लाई टू check whether they are
Mm-hmm.
good at English and they are done with their English preparation for CLAT or not. तो अगर आप 8 मिनट में उस आर्टिकल को
So.
पढ़ पा रहे हो तो मतलब आपकी स्पीड अच्छी है, और अगर आप उसको पूरा समझ पा रहे
Mm-hmm.
हो तो आपका कॉम्प्रिहेंशन भी अच्छा है। अब आपको आर्टिकल पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है, अब आपको क्वेश्चंस करने की जरूरत है। अब आपको तीसरी चीज पे काम करना है, उस कॉम्प्रिहेंशन को, अपनी रीडिंग स्पीड को, इन
Mm.
दोनों स्किल्स को अप्लाई करना है आपको सवालों पे, और फिर आप प्रैक्टिस करोगे
Exactly.
तो हो जाएगा।
So आयुष, जैसा आप बता रहे थे, this newspaper called Hindu, right? I have
राइट
gone through the newspaper. I have gone through
राइट
the editorials of theirs. I'll be honest with you. It was a bit hard initially.
राइट राइट
When I gone through with for the very first time, I was not being able to comprehend the whole article. तो
राइट
जैसा आप बता रहे हो कि इनिशियली आपको भी स्ट्रगल हुआ था, तो दिस इज द पार्ट ऑफ द प्रोसेस, राइट?
राइट
कि पहली बार आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा, दूसरी बार समझ में नहीं आएगा, बट इट्स ऑल अबाउट द कंसिस्टेंसी. यू हैव टू
राइट
कीप ऑन प्रैक्टिस, कीप ऑन गोइंग ऑन,
राइट।
राइट?
हाँ, मतलब perseverance, I guess, is the key. Everything looks difficult at the beginning. If you take up any book
Exactly.
of any subject, it looks very difficult at the beginning. It looks even
Mm-hmm.
more difficult in the between. But at the end,
Mm-hmm.
when you master that skill, you really,
Exactly.
and in hindsight, you really enjoy that process. You feel that you have done really good in
No,
that
no,
particular skill. Yeah.
I can totally understand this thing. I'm having the same feeling for about it. So there's one more section in English that you were mentioning called grammar, right? Is there any particular book that you had gone through for the
Grammar.
grammar thing?
सो ग्रामर के लिए कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि ग्रामर देखो, वो भी मैं, मतलब मेरा तो ये मानना है कि इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में आप बेटर स्किल, अखबार जितना पढ़ोगे उतना अच्छा तो होता ही जाएगा। और ग्रामर
Exactly.
के बेसिक कुछ रूल्स होते हैं जो हमेशा क्लैट में क्वेश्चन किए जाते हैं, किसी भी कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में, पोस्ट
Mm-hmm.
ग्रेजुएशन लेवल के बाद के जो एग्जामिनेशन होते हैं, चाहे वो यूपीएससी का वो पेपर 1 हो, पेपर 2 हो, या फिर
Mm-hmm.
एसबीआई पीओ, कोई भी एग्जामिनेशन हो, उसमें स्किल्स के कुछ इंग्लिश के कुछ ग्रामर रूल्स अप्लाई होते हैं। तो आप रेन एंड मार्टिन नाम की एक बुक है, आप उसका इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं।
Exactly. I've gone through that.
राइट
It
राइट
is one
राइट।
of the best book, I must say.
हाँ, आप रेन एंड मार्टिन नाम की बुक का यूज कर सकते हैं। टीएमएच की हरिमोहन प्रसाद की एक बुक है, आप उसका
Mm-hmm.
इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। हरिमोहन प्रसाद वाली बुक में आपको तीनों ही सेक्शंस मोर और लेस मिल जाएंगे, वो कैप का भी, ग्रामर का भी, और रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन के लिए भी प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस आपको मिल जाएंगे। लेकिन बेसिकली
Okay.
आपको फर्स्ट प्रिपरेशन अपनी इंग्लिश की बेस करनी है अपने
Reading.
न्यूज़पेपर रीडिंग पे। जितना रीड करेंगे उतना अच्छा है, और उसके बाद आपका प्रिपरेशन एंसिलरी वे में कॉम्प्लीमेंट
Mm-hmm.
करेगा, और आप किसी भी एक स्टैंडर्ड बुक को रेफर कर सकते हो। लेकिन न्यूज़पेपर रीडिंग और स्टैंडर्ड बुक, ये दोनों चीजें आपकी इंग्लिश प्रिपरेशन को हेल्प करेगी। और मेरा मानना है कि इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग स्किल्स क्लैट में बिल्कुल मैटर नहीं करती हैं। वैसे
Mm-hmm.
इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग स्किल्स मैटर, आप लॉ स्कूल में आओगे तो कर सकती है थोड़ा, बाकी इंग्लिश इज नॉट अ डेफिनेशन ऑफ योर इंटेलिजेंस। तो उससे
Mm-hmm.
आप इतना डेविएट मत हो। यू कैन लर्न एनी लैंग्वेज विद 30 days of preparation. There are many people who teach English, spoken English in 30 days, and for a very limited amount of money. So English speaking skills is not a big deal according to my understanding. you have to master the language, and skill development can only happen through regular regular reading. That is what I feel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally align with this thing. So, as you mentioned to me before the interview, like we are about to have 2021 exam for the CLAT, right?
Right.
And in a very soon. So, is there any tips and advice that you like to suggest to our student that will help them to be good at this exam?
Right. So the only thing I would suggest to all the students is who are in their 10th, 11th or 12th grade, is that
Mm-hmm.
they need to consistently move ahead with bettering their skills on particular
Okay.
subjects. Like for maths, you have to prepare 7 8 topics in a very skillful way. You need to be very adroit in that particular
Mm-hmm.
section. And other than that, for English, obviously, as I said,
Mm-hmm. Reading could be the one of the important thing.
consistency is the key. You will have to read regularly, and reading is one of the most important things that you will have to do for your preparation of CLAT. Even when you go in law school, is one of the most important skills that you will have to possess before you enter any law school. So
Mm.
any preparation you do for CLAT will also help you later on in your life. If you do anything in your life, reading will really help. Your language skill will really help. So please start reading a lot. Reading newspaper is one of the best thing that
Mm-hmm.
you can do to yourself in general also, and in particular for your preparation also. Other than that, for GK also, you will have to read newspapers, websites, magazines. It will help a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, static GK, you will have to revise again and again. You will have to just pick up one source and you will have to revise again and again. So all these things that I have said, if I summarize all those things, I would say revision, practice, and perseverance. These three words will help
Mm-hmm.
you in cracking CLAT 2021. And
No, no,
you have
I'm very much aligned with this thing. Mm-hmm.
right.
So
So
yeah, yeah. Please go ahead.
yeah. Please go ahead. I
So,
just
there's this thing that I wanted to ask you about. Is there any other exam similar to the CLAT?
So in India, there are many private law schools also, other than the national law universities. So CLAT is an examination that is conducted for all the national law universities in India that are public universities,
Mm-hmm.
except the National Law University of Delhi. So NLU Delhi, that is National Law University Delhi, conducts a separate
Mm-hmm.
exam called ALET, that is All India Law Entrance Test. So more or less,
Okay.
syllabus for ALET is also similar to CLAT only. So if you prepare for
Mm-hmm.
CLAT, you complement your ALET preparation also. More or less, the syllabus is
Mm-hmm.
same. So that is not an issue if you want to prepare for other law school examinations also.
Mm-hmm.
So there is another this famous private institute called Symbiosis Law School, Pune, Noida, and Hyderabad. For admission to these private universities, you have to give an entrance examination called SLAT, Symbiosis Law Aptitude Test. And
Mm-hmm.
other than CLAT, ALETs, SLAT, you can go to state universities like BHU, Banaras Hindu Universities,
Okay.
common entrance test. So BHU set is conducted for all the students who have given their 12th and want to do law from BHU. Other than that, MHCET is also conducted for law schools in Maharashtra. And people from all over India can give that exam. However, there is a large amount of domicile reservation for candidates appearing from Maharashtra. But still, you can give a shot
So,
at this exam also. Yeah.
is there any difference in the syllabus and the paper format of these exams, or are they alike?
So more or less, the preparation for all these examination will have to be are similar only. So the only difference can be in the composition. So if CLAT asks you 20 questions on maths, ALET will ask you 10
Mm-hmm.
questions on maths. So
Okay.
the difference is only in composition and structure. Other than that, all these law school entrance examinations test you on the basic same skills only. So you have to be good at your reading. You should be fast at your reading. You should be aware about
Mm-hmm.
the happenings around you. You should have basic knowledge about aptitude papers like maths and logical reasoning. So all these
Mm-hmm.
skills, basic skills, needs to be mastered in order to clear all the law entrance tests conducted throughout the country. The only
Okay. So
difference is,
basically, they're more or less like similar, right?
yeah, like similar only, because the only difference lies in the structure and composition, and not in the
Mm-hmm.
syllabus. And even if there
Okay.
is slight difference in the syllabus, the skills that are needed to
Required.
acquire that
Mm-hmm.
syllabus are the same. So you will have
Okay,
to
I can.
prepare in the same manner accordingly.
Okay, I can get it.
Yeah.
So I'd like you to tell our student about the career opportunity in law. Like, what are the different career
Okay.
opportunities that we can have in law?
Uh, so in the current era, legal profession is considered to be one of the most rewarding professions only.
Mm-hmm.
So in mid 90s, law was not considered to be a very good option. So anybody
Mm-hmm.
who was not good at studies was asked to do pursue law in their life. But after the
Okay.
coming in of this CLAT examination in 2008,
Mm-hmm.
and since the last decade, I've seen many intelligent, many skillful people getting into this profession, because the scope is very rewarding ahead, and there are many various opportunities. You can get into judicial services, you can give administrative services examinations, and there are
Mm-hmm.
many opportunities in the private sector too. You can join any of the big law firms. They pay a lot to all the associates they have, and as you go on the
Mm-hmm.
senior level, your pay increases. The work is really intellectually stimulating for all the professionals working in these law firms. You
Mm-hmm.
have to basically advise clients, you have to defend them, you have to solve their disputes by way of arbitration or litigation. You can go into
Okay.
litigation is also a
Mm-hmm.
great option. Arbitration is getting really good name during this COVID pandemic also. Many people took to arbitration and other alternate dispute resolution
Mm-hmm.
methods for getting their disputes resolved. And other than that, you can join any company, any big company, as an in-house legal counsel. So every big legal company has their own team of lawyers that helps in consolidating all the legal disputes and giving those disputes to the appointed lawyers or the law firm. So all the
Mm-hmm.
big companies have their in-house legal counsel team. They also
Mm-hmm.
this is also a very good career opportunity. You have to just master
Mm-hmm.
some domain of law, and then you can do good in these big companies also. And other than that, you can these days there is also this great culture of legal journalism. You can get attached with any of the big newspaper dailies or monthly magazines, and you can just put up your columns there. So and there is also this opportunity of working with the government as in the role of an advisory capacity. You can work with the government sector also. You can be a legal consultant with all these ministries. So the career opportunities are umpteen in the field of law in these days.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I feel,
So
and this is
as you
what I have
mentioned, na,
realized as I am.
yeah, as you mentioned, na, it seems like there's so many opportunity in the
Yes.
law, but it's just that the people are
Right,
not
right,
aware of it. There are lack of miscommunication
right,
and the
right,
lack of knowledge that is there. I hope this will definitely help our
right,
student.
right,
We have the better understanding about the career opportunity in the law. So there's this last
right,
question
right.
that I wanted to ask you about, and I would request you to answer that in Hindi particularly. कि अभी आप जिस कॉलेज में है ना, उसमें किस तरह का
Hmm.
आपका आपका पूरा कॉलेज है? What is your schedule and what is the whole college life in that? And I believe that you must be having great time there, right?
Right. राइट तो मैंने मेरा कॉलेज है नेशनल लॉ यूनिवर्सिटी दिल्ली, और मैंने ये मेरे को ये कॉलेज मैंने जब एलएटी एग्जाम क्लियर किया था साइमल्टेनियसली विद क्लैट, तो
Mm-hmm.
मैंने एनएलयू दिल्ली चूज किया ओवर एनी कॉलेज दैट आई कुड हैव गॉट विद
Mm-hmm.
द रैंक आई गॉट इन क्लैट. सो एनएलयू दिल्ली इंडिया का अभी नंबर 1 नंबर 2 का नेशनल लॉ यूनिवर्सिटी है. और लॉ स्कूल
Mm-hmm.
में जब मैं एंटर हुआ था तो मतलब कुछ स्किल्स मैंने ली थी क्योंकि मेरे को प्रेपरेशन करनी थी, तो रीडिंग स्पीड मेरा अच्छा हो
Mm-hmm.
गया था. बट इन रीडिंग स्पीड और इन सब स्किल्स का जो फायदा मेरे को पता चला लॉ स्कूल में जाके पता चला, जो कि अलग अलग एक्टिविटीज हैं. तो लॉ स्कूल में आपसे एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं आपकी राइटिंग, आपकी लीगल राइटिंग पे बहुत वर्क करना पड़ता है. तो ये लीगल
Mm-hmm.
राइटिंग पे जब मैंने रिसर्च पेपर्स लिखे, अपने सेमेस्टर पेपर्स लिखे, तो उससे मेरे को
Mm-hmm.
एक वोकेशनल स्किल पा गया मैं कि लीगल राइटिंग में बहुत अच्छी कर गया. उसके अलावा मूटिंग एक जो आपकी स्पीकिंग बहुत सुधारती है. डिबेटिंग आप परस्यू कर सकते हो किसी भी लॉ स्कूल में
Mm-hmm.
इंडिया के. तो डिबेटिंग आपको बहुत हेल्प करती है आपकी स्पीकिंग स्किल्स, क्रिटिकल स्किल्स, एनालिटिकल स्किल्स सुधारने में. सेम इज द केस विद मूटिंग. आपकी लीगल रिसर्च सुधरती है इससे, आपकी स्पीकिंग स्किल्स और एनालिटिकल स्किल्स तो ऑब्वियसली सुधरती हैं. आपके आर्गुमेंट्स डेवलप करना आप सीखते हो.
Mm-hmm.
तो ये सब चीजें तो हैं ही. मतलब आप सारी एक्टिविटीज जो एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज है उनसे आप अपने आप को, आपकी पर्सनालिटी को डेवलप कर सकते हो ताकि आपको अपने प्रोफेशन में हेल्प मिले. जो करिकुलर की एक्टिविटीज है, जो करिकुलम की एक्टिविटीज है, जो सिलेबस का टाइप है, वो भी किसी भी नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी में बहुत ज्यादा वोकेशनल नेचर का है, आपको हेल्प करे ताकि आपके करियर में. और मतलब बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग हो जाता है. मतलब फॉर अ पर्सन हु इज passionate about all the disputes happening, who is passionate about reading about the current affairs. तो जिसको इन सब चीजों में इंटरेस्ट है, उसके लिए तो मतलब लॉ स्कूल की जो पढ़ाई है वो बहुत केक वॉक हो जाती है एक तरीके से, मैं कहूँगा. उसको बहुत इंटरेस्ट आता है, पैशन आता है, तो वो सब भी बहुत अच्छा करता है. जो करिकुलम की एक्टिविटीज है, एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर हो गया, को करिकुलर हो गया, ये सब चीजें बहुत हेल्प करती हैं. इसके अलावा मतलब किसी भी आप नेशनल लॉ यूनिवर्सिटी में जाते हैं तो आपको कैंपस लाइफ को एक्सपीरियंस करने का मौका मिलता है. तो आप जैसे किसी भी मतलब कैंपस लाइफ वाले कॉलेज में जाओ, आप IIM जाओ, IIT जाओ, किसी मेडिकल कॉलेज में जाओ, NLU में जाओ, तो आपको एक अलग सेंस ऑफ
लर्निंग एंड
कॉमरेडशिप आती है.
एक्सपोजर.
आपको लर्निंग क्या गया, आपको कॉपरेशन आता है, लोगों के साथ टीम वर्क आता है. ये सब चीजें आप हर रोज सीखते हो, क्योंकि जब हम स्कूल में होते हैं तो ये सब हम लोग अपने घर पे रहते होते हैं मोस्टली. मतलब मैं जिनकी बात करूं, मतलब जैसे मैं तो बोर्डिंग स्कूल में था, एंड अब तो मेरे को लगता है बहुत मिनिस्क्यूल परसेंटेज ऑफ पीपल गो टू बोर्डिंग स्कूल्स. बाकी 99% लोग तो घर पे ही पढ़ते हैं. तो वो घर के बाद जो अपने को प्रोटेक्टेड एनवायरनमेंट होता है, और जब आप कॉलेज में जाते हो तो आपको एक एक्सपोजर मिलता है. आप खुद से मतलब हर दिन एक टीम वर्क दोस्तों के साथ, अपने रूममेट्स के साथ सीखते हो. तो वो सब चीजें बहुत हेल्प करती हैं आपको एज अ पर्सन डेवलप करने में. और लॉ स्कूल में जो सिलेबस की एक्टिविटीज हैं और बाकी सारी एक्टिविटीज आपको इंसान तो डेवलप करती है, और आपको प्रोफेशनल भी एक डेवलप करती है. तो ये मेरा एक्सपीरियंस तो ऐसा रहा है लॉ स्कूल का. अभी
So I see you are in the third year, right?
Right, I am in my third year.
Okay.
So अभी मेरा थर्ड ईयर का एक और सेमेस्टर हो गया, तो अब मैं मतलब आई एम हाफ वे थ्रू माय लॉ स्कूल. अब मेरा आधा लॉ स्कूल निकल चुका है और आधा लॉ स्कूल बाकी है. So I am studying in the midway. So yeah.
Okay. So Ayush, thank you so much for giving your valuable time, and I believe this insightful discussion will definitely help our students to have a better understanding of our CLAT exam. Right. So folks, this is all for today.
Right.
See you in the next episode of Safalta Talk. Till then, keep learning and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel.
Thank you so much, Amit sir,
Thank
for
you,
having me here.
Bye.
Yeah.